I'm going to start this off on a really negative note, and then it's going to go really positive, I promise. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my first video with my new microphone, so let's see how this one goes. So we got really distracted from the plot because I was going to film this in between whenever I went to Christmas Con and whenever I went and I saw Josh. However, I got sick, so I couldn't. My voice was completely shot. So you're getting it really late this year. I'm pretty sure this will come out in like January. So Christmas Con was really kind of focused around people that we've actually already met this year. So it was kind of like, oh, let's see them in new environments, right? We flew in on Thursday and we got into the hotel and we ate dinner at the hotel restaurant, which was the Sheraton, which I would not stay in again. I don't highly recommend the Sheraton. Last year it was fine, but this year it was kind of like gross. I'm going to start this off on a really negative note, and then it's going to go really positive, I promise. And I don't like the convention center. The convention center is kind of a disaster. There's like not enough bathrooms, and the panels, you can't hear them. That is all the negative of Christmas Con, so let's get the positive of Christmas Con. We ate at the restaurant downstairs on Thursday night, and I like chicken tenders. We went to bed that night, and that was like it. That's all we did on Thursday. So we got there about an hour early on Friday. We ended up getting all messed up because we had planned to see Tyler first on Friday. Us and everybody else. We then went and saw Paul Campbell first. But we were the first people in his line. The only other person that we had ever been first for was Jason Priestley. So we got extra time with Paul Campbell, which was fun. Like we had to like help him set up his ring light. We got like a lot of pictures with him because we were the first people. When we were standing at Paul, I backed up into Kimberly Sistad, and I turned and she looked at me and she was, "Oh, sorry, sweetie." And I was like, "Oh, hi, she's really tall." So after Paul Campbell, we went to Robert Buckley, who we had the Robert Buckley shirts for. He really liked them. He seemed like he was a little bit not as relaxed as he should be. Not that he was bad or rude or anything. Sometimes at this Christmas Con, the bigger celebrities' lines are shorter. So like you'd go in and you'd think, oh my gosh, James Denton, for example, last year, you'd think he has this really long line. There was nobody ever in his line. And Tyler Hynes' line is so long. And who the heck is Tyler Hynes, right? If you don't know him, if you know, you know. So we didn't know about Robert Buckley, but Robert Buckley's line was really pretty decent. So is Jonathan Bennett. My mom said that in Kansas City that she went to in 2024, she said Jonathan Bennett's line was like nothing. And then this year it was like huge. After Robert Buckley, we went and we tried to see Paul Greene, but Paul Greene wasn't there. So we ended up walking the vendor floor, which if you go to That's for Entertainment, I really recommend you go to the vendor floor. We find some very good finds. I always get my ornament at Christmas Con. Every year I get an ornament, right? My mom has given me an ornament every single year of my life. So I have 21 ornaments, but I ended up getting a 3 Wise Men ornament. After we did the vendor floor, we went back and we finally saw Paul Greene, who was really nice. I don't know who this man is. Like, I've never seen him in my life. Then it was photo op time. So the first thing that we did was we ended up buying the Robert Buckley and Jonathan Bennett duo. There was only like 4 other people with us to do that. And so when we got in there, Robert Buckley goes, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed." And then Jonathan Bennett goes, "Wait!" And he got out his phone and he took a picture of us and Robert Buckley for his phone. And he said that every time he texts Rob, he's going to use that as a sticker. Then we switched shirts. And so whenever we went and got in line, so Tyler Hynes' solo op was next. When we got in line for him, we were at the very end. So the way that this queue works is they walk through this one side and there's like a queue and it goes do-do-do-do-do. And we were standing in a place where he could see us perfectly, right? And he full stopped with this huge line of people. And my mom did like a full turnaround, like 360 to like look at him. It was the funniest thing ever. I was like, then we did the photo op with him. Hugs were not permitted, which is something that they took away from last year, I think, because they had so many issues with Tyler and with Chad. Whenever we went to 90s Con and we got the Lawrence brothers, right, got hugs from all 3 of them. Then after Tyler, we had a little bit of time before our 3 Wise Men in a costume photo op, which was the coolest thing in the whole world. Might be the best photo of the con. After all of that, we were like, oh, actually, let's do Andrew Walker. So we got Andrew Walker and we went there on Friday night, and it was actually really easy to get him. He came right after his ops. Andrew Walker really had to like step it up because when you're with Tyler Hynes, for Saturday, we had one goal: get Chad and do all the panels. We got there, we got in line for Chad. We were the first people in the GA line, so we were 3rd overall. I feel like out of the 4 photos that we had with Chad so far, minus obviously I didn't know what the Sunday one was going to look like at this point, but that photo is like my least favorite. I don't know if it's my outfit, I don't know if it's me, Katie says it's the shoes. But after Chad, we did the panels. The first panel was Brendan Elliott, Dermot Mulroney, who looked tired, Antonio Cubo, who was really conceited, and Nikki DeLoach, who I just watched. The last Christmas movie that I watched was with her and Christopher Ploha. The second panel was Victor Webster, Brant Daugherty from Pretty Little Liars, Dana McKellar, who's really smart. My mom told me she was really smart, but I was really surprised, and Wes Brown. Then it was the Ugly Sweater Contest, whose celebrity judges were Will Kemp and Brittany Bristow, who we had no idea who were, but we were introduced to Will Kemp, that's for sure. Nobody can prepare you for that Ugly Sweater Contest, I don't feel like. I genuinely don't think anybody can prep you for that. The last panel of the day was Rachel Lee Cook, Brendan Penny, Jesse Metcalf, and Travis Van Winkle. He brought his dog. His dog's name's Karen. After the panels were done, James Vaughn, who is Jonathan Bennett's husband, we met him on Friday. He did a line dance to teach his song, his Christmas song. It's called SOS. SOS. You should listen to it. After that, we went and we saw Jane Seymour, who is Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, apparently. I don't know who that is, really. She felt like she was very much royalty, and I accidentally touched. She had, like, real velvet on. And then we went to the movie premiere, which was my first ever time seeing one of these movie premieres. My mom did one for a fall movie in the summer of 2024 at the Christmas Con. Hello. So we did the movie premiere, and then Jessie Schramm answered some questions, and then we watched the movie, and she stayed for about like an hour of the movie, and then she left. And then we headed back, and our hotel was extremely hectic because Tyler was doing his boot shot tradition there. On to Sunday. On Sunday morning, we had the Tyler Hynes virtual queue for the second session of the morning. So we did not have the VIP session for Sunday. Our session ended 10 minutes after our Chad photo op. So we had photo op number 3 for Chad on Sunday. And we were halfway through the line, and then we realized, oh, we're not going to make it to this Chad photo op. So I moved the Chad photo op to 3 o'clock. And then we were like four families from the front, and Tyler had to go do photo ops. And they said, all right, he's going to be back at 4. And I was like, we got nothing done on Sunday morning. It was a huge waste of time. So after we got kicked out of Tyler's line, we went to a panel. So the first panel of the day was James Seymour, Will Kemp, Brittany Bristow, and Marcus Rosner. We had a pretty good seat for that. We learned that Marcus Rosner is from Sullivan's Crossing. Then it was Minute to Win It, which we kind of saw part of it. It was with Rachel Lee Cook and Travis Van Winkle. His dog was in Minute to Win It. I know we were all curious. I was standing in the Chad line going, is Travis's dog in? I apparently like animals, guys. I don't know much about that, but we were in line for Chad McMurray's solo op, which was very rushed in comparison to last year. So we did a solo photo op with Chad last year also, but we did it on Saturday. He hugged us last year. It was very much more comfortable. However, so Chad does a good job anyways. He was trying to rush, but he was doing a good job. He came in and he goes, oh, Chad, and he like read our shirts and he goes, oh, did you guys like the Crush commercial?
Your first crush is back.
And he looked directly into my eyeballs. I go, yeah, because I don't talk. I never talked to Mr. Chad McElmurray. On the way out, I did like literally throw his bracelets on him because you're not supposed to give your bracelets in photo ops, but I did forget to give him his at the table. So I just like shoved the bracelets off and threw them at him. And I almost took Tyler's with him, and that would have been really uncomfortable because I had a Rusty James bracelet for Tyler, and Chad's were like Merge Mansion, DoorDash, and Crush. I really just hope he took them off at the end of the day. And he was like, oh, what the heck? What am I wearing? And he's like, Merge Mansion. And I did the giving the bracelets in the photo ops twice, which was my first time doing it. And I don't recommend doing this because it's like the most stressful experience. But I gave Jonathan Bennett his bracelets. I think I gave him Spandam a lot. And then I said one that said James's husband. After Chad's solo op, we went to Chad's panel, which was also Robert Buckley, Daniel Lissing, Paul Greene, Stephen Hazar, and Jessica Lowndes. Stephen Hazar was there last year. Jessica Lowndes, I love Adriana. From 90210. She's my favorite. I actually did talk to her. We went and we saw 2 people. We went and saw Jesse Metcalf. We went and talked to him and gave him a bracelet. And then I went and I saw Jessica. I saw her and I gave her hers. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. So then was the last panel of the day, which I'm shocked that they put like all these huge people in. So the lineup of this was, it was Tyler Hynes, Andrew Walker, Paul Campbell, Kimberly Susted, Jonathan Bennett, BJ Britt, Brandon Routh, and Heather Hemmons, which is an insane panel lineup. And we missed the very end because as soon as we were laughing so hard because Tyler's lady came to get him. And so as soon as Tyler's lady came to get him, we were off and we had to go get Tyler's selfie. So we went back, we got the selfie with Tyler. That man is the sweetest man alive. His handler took a picture on his phone of us with our shirts, right? Then on our way out, we got Marcus Rosner and we are out of there. So that is my Christmas Con 2025. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know Katie wanted to hear all of that again because she's heard it 17 million times. Okay, love you guys. Bye!